My name is Phil Reinhart, graduate of 2016, studying International Comparative Studies with a focus on social business in East Africa. I am here to tell you my story in DukeEngage Independent Projects from the summer of 2013 after my first year at Duke. From my reflection on my partnership, project establishment, the mentor search, and more, I am sure you will think deeper about your project through DukeEngage or other summer programs. But before going on, I would like to clarify that I worked with another Duke student on this project, and she gained funding through the Career Center. Together we worked on a project to increase treatment, education, and prevention for 2 neglected tropical diseases in the Rorya District of Tanzania. I partnered with Village Life Outreach Project and Sharati Health Education and Development Foundation because I had connections to the NGOs, having already worked with them abroad and domestically. VLOP and SHEDF are ideal community partners for many reasons. First, their most influential leaders are from the Rorya District. Second, their projects are driven by a combined ideology, creativity, and passion between Western outsiders and local leaders. Third, they have a U.S. office. Fourth, they have Westerners on site to help translate culture and language. And fifth, they have the ability to digitally communicate. Feel free to learn more about these organizations at their websites and/or send a message to my email cited at the end of this presentation. Once connected with Village Life and Shed, I asked them to lay out 3 systematic issues they were facing. Then I chose the issue that best suited my skills, interests, and could be completed in an 8 to 12 week time frame. I picked a problem concerning their annual treatment campaigns. They were struggling to achieve goals of treatment participation for 2 neglected tropical diseases due to low health education and community sensitization. Additionally, they wanted to expand beyond drug administration to prevention and education. I chose this particular project because I had previously worked on NTDs and I was interested in methods for community mobilization and education. To simplify the issue of low treatment participation and to increase efforts for prevention, my community partner and I broke the problem into 3 parts: the community's understanding of the infection process, the community's understanding of prevention, and the community's understanding of treatment. I worked here in the Rorya District of Tanzania. The project was focused on schistosomiasis, kichocho in Swahili, which is a waterborne parasite, and worms, minyoo, also called soil-transmitted helminths. Both are known as 2 of the 17 neglected tropical diseases. On the map shown by the Schistosomiasis Control Initiative, you can see that 2 types of schisto are prevalent in the Rorya District. The region is neglected as one of the most infected areas of Tanzania, 50 to 98%, due to low socioeconomic status and location on Lake Victoria. My work was spread throughout 4 communities in the Rorya District. I was based in the top left in Sharati. I found my mentor, Lisa McKean, through 2 weeks of research, emails, and meetings. It was not about finding the perfect mentor online, rather it was about finding a faculty to guide me in finding a mentor. Ms. McKean was a stellar mentor because she required research and a workflow, which can be seen here on this slide. It was more important to find a mentor who was dedicated than a mentor who studied my topic and region. Ms. McKean sat with my partner and I every other week, nailing us with questions and pushing us to think deeper. This was the preparation that eventually led to our project success. We had heavily organized our project and built strong relationships with mentors and community leaders abroad and domestically throughout the spring, but we were still unprepared. We had perfectly planned to design education materials with community leaders through our partner Seeking Common Ground, and then train the leaders to teach their own communities. But they were expecting materials upon our arrival. They wanted flyers, they wanted labels, they wanted concrete lessons and plans translated to Swahili. It was all too much for us to handle at once. But because of our almost over preparation and strong mentors on site and abroad, we were ready for anything. We had a backup plan to use existing materials to drive our project. We reevaluated our workflow over 2 to 3 days with our translator and my on-site mentor, and then we moved forward. The materials came from the Schistosomiasis Control Initiative, which is just an example of how many training manuals, guides, and other things are out there just waiting for us to utilize in the field. This obviously led us to restructure our workflow in the midst of our on-site work. and this is just a big lesson learned. Regardless of your rate of success or comfort in your project, it is crucial for you to reflect, take a step back, and reconsider your ability to reach outcomes in your remaining time frame. The same way we simplified the problem, we organized the process of our intervention in 3 parts. First, we gauged existing knowledge and trained community leaders to lead an education campaign on NTDs. Next, we test drove the education tactics and sought advice from our trainees. And last, we formulated the project to run under the complete influence and power of the community. With extra funding and the assistance of my community partner, we hired a full-time translator for the project. Communication often gets distorted through translation, but after we built a relationship with our translator at a personal level and thoroughly communicated our goals and objectives with him, the more effectively we were able to work as we went through the project. Technology can be a real burden in places where there is no electricity. We had to drag a generator with us at all times, we had to pay for gas and so on. But because of our investment in money and time, our trainees learned faster and better, and attendance was beyond expectation at campaign days. Plus, people really appreciated the exposure to technology, so don't be afraid to incorporate some type of device into your work. Especially with the language barrier, it was essential we used true and false games, drawing activities, and quizzes to ensure that the trainees had attained information. We could not fully understand how to train people unless we tested our methods ourselves. So we taught via trial and error and invited the trainees to give us tips. This further motivated them to participate, gave them an example of our objectives, and further built our relationship at a more mutual level. Eventually, we needed to let the community lead the project. We kept an eye on their work and critiqued when needed, but they directed it as their own education campaign. Creativity from the trainees drove our project. We used technology a lot, but it also depended on the trainees' innovative props, stories, games, metaphors, and more. In our last week or so, we were working with one of our teams in their community, and because of their swiftness and execution, we felt sure that they would be able to maintain the project to significantly increase treatment participation after we had departed. In our last week, we sat with the teams in each of the communities and organized a plan for the months leading to the October 2013 treatment campaign. This plan taught over 5,000 people in the months of August and September, and for the grand outcome of my community partner and community leaders, we doubled treatment participation. Additionally, we've heard a variety of stories of people integrating behavior changes and seeking preventative measures. Above the number of skills and mindsets that I gained from my experience, having the responsibility and ownership in leading the project was the most influential. If you would like to learn more, please feel free to contact me. I have continued deepening my involvement in projects on education, prevention, and have helped scale mass drug administration over the summers with my community partners. If you are interested in getting involved, have questions, or need advice, contact my partner or me via email. One piece of final advice, often students say their summer experience was life-changing. I suggest you embody the change and express it through action. Do not use your empty words to show you've quote-unquote changed. So thank you for listening, and good luck with your project.